Hulk mad. Sorry, that's not the best way to start the podcast, but Hulk mad. Hi everyone, welcome. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast, livecast, episode 250. Kind of number. It's a number. Live from the Copperbox Arena in London as my background, but otherwise from Manchester, England. It's Ryan. And also Dee, also Manchester, England, but living in cola stick fueled Blurryville.
Pretty much. Cola.
That's how it works. Speaking of cola, like I said to Dee in the lead up to this podcast, if you're listening, you just theatre of the mind or watch the YouTube VOD, one or the other. This here is a bottle of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. That's irrelevant because all Coca-Cola products have this same issue. Now, I've said to Dee and warned him I am going to be an angry bastard. I am the Victor Meldrew of grains of sand on the internet today. There's going to be many reasons. Victor Meldrew was the lead character of the BBC sitcom One Foot in the Grave about a cranky old man.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
Are you going to be Grandpa Jack from Because of Diddley or whatever it is?
Wait, you mean Father Jack?
Father Jack.
Feck. Right. No, I'm not. The cow is also going to be little and far away. Anyway. These bottles now, right, we all know the whole thing about, recycling. Yes, very important, I do that. I do my recycling just like everyone else. Bottles and glass go in the bottle bin, paper goes in the paper bin, rubbish is there, and, Dee does weird stuff with freezer bag clips. Did you think that when I have a rant, I just immediately tunnel vision into this raging red-filled void? Kind of, but not always. Anyway, yeah, these bottles. This is great. I am attached, because it says on the front of them, I am attached to recycle together. That's great. Now that lids can be recycled with the other plastics, that's great. Tell me though, why'd you do this?
I like that.
Why stick the... I mean, this is great. And, if you want to just drink... I mean, I know you're not supposed to just drink straight from the bottle, but let's be honest, I'm a lazy fat bastard. Of course I'm going to... I'm going to drink straight from the bottle. The issue is, this isn't the reason I got rid of the beard, by the way. I know Duncan was very... when we did Team Fight Thursdays, and, I made the comment that somewhere out there a ginger porro exists. I didn't get rid of the beard because I just wanted to get rid of the beard. Hi, Jaffa. Welcome. You're in the You've joined us mid podcast. Welcome. Hi. In the middle of my rant about why the stupid bastard lids on stupid Coke bottles needs to stop, because I can't have a beard and do my lazy bastard finger drink from the bottle at the same time. Last time I did that, I pulled out half a moustache of hair. So, just for that, yeah. You see, now I took the lid off. Now you're left with the problem of a giant sharp bit of plastic on the side. Which means if you do then drink it, there's a chance of cutting your face open. Can't win. Absolutely can't win. There's absolutely...
No lid?
There's zero way. Yeah, that's fine. There's zero way of me able to drink in a bottle... Oh, I can't even pour a Coke right. Look at that. Hold on. Look at that. There's more head than...
more red.
Moral of the story, just don't drink from the bottle. That's... No. Absolutely not. Anyway, yeah, well, that's how I've been going on. How's your week been?
Asleep for most of it.
Such a change in energy. From just like... And Dee? puppet that's just had the strings cut. He's just like, look at Ryan and he's stupid. Oh, Ryan and his bad week. Oh man. So how's yours been? Snip.
Well, there you go.
Like a puppet on a string, except the string has been covered in. No.
But
Oh,
no,
Steph loves Ryan's bad weeks. Of course he does.
he loves pain and misery. Duh.
End of Diablo 4. Don't even get me started on that shit. Because there's a news story. There's a news story later on. Here's me struggling my ass. Struggling to beat Ashava, the big dragon, big dragon. Ah, big dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That comes out of. Oh, I can't even describe it. It's awful. It's awful. It's a giant sphincter. Let's just. There's no other way. Just saying it. It's just a giant sphincter. Got a rogue to 19. I got a sorcerer to 20 and then realised he's absolutely awful along with everyone he ever actually did the boss run with. And so therefore didn't get his and then Taskmaster Season 2 is so far the best, seeing as I'm watching them backward from Season 6. Yes, for some reason Steph's Netflix is showing him the... Is it actually like showing you the last episode of Taskmaster first? So do you do you know who wins the season and then it goes backwards? No. So they're just showing the seasons backwards. Which to be fair,
Right.
is not too problematic because each group of contestants is only there for a season anyway. There's no real continuity in necessarily in that regard. Sometimes there's continuity between episodes in a season, but still.
What can I say? I've not really been doing much. Played a game of I played at Aram earlier, and that was fun. That was phenomenally weird.
Yeah,
5 S's, or 3 S pluses, 1 S minus.
there's still S's. The
Yep.
way I see it, people all playing the best way.
Yeah, it was just like, holy crap.
Well, I mean that's a bit
Yeah,
weird. We'll have to do a thing on this. You see, that's Netflix's fault. Champion of Champions isn't technically a series; it's a special, and everywhere else identifies it as such. Netflix and their weird archaic things having to be in a season or a limited series or something can't just place a special in between two series. So it has to just go, this is season 6. It's like, it's not. It's not. It's absolutely not. Season 6 is season 6. Or series
It's like
6.
but yeah,
Just,
the other thing is I've been catching up with One Piece finally. It's
uh,
it was all in Japanese, so that took a while.
Dear. I'm gonna rant, aren't I? I'm gonna end up ranting.
Um,
It's not great.
do you think 4 years stuck on the same island is a bit long,
Uh,
and they're still going?
Man, it is hilarious. I mean, yeah, yes. 4 years on an island, it's just too damn long. It's just too.
They've not finished yet there, and they started before lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Jaffa's got the right point there. It basically just sounds like Lost. 4 years on One Piece, on one island is basically the series of Lost. Minus the
Yeah,
flashbacks and the flash forwards and the flash sideways and weird smoke
all
monsters
the
and stuff like that. It's like, what?
oh yeah, well actually, wait, Small Monster, flash forward. They had flashbacks and flash forward because they actually went through time.
Okay, flash sidewards.
As a
Ah,
move, Lord does it as a move
I,
because he can go in a 360 sphere anywhere in the 360 sphere because it's law
still,
and
the
room.
statute of limitations. For a start, I haven't watched Lost. Right, for a thing that I just haven't watched Lost, so don't worry on that.
I
But
watched the first season of Lost. That was about it.
it's like, for example, if you tell me now that you've not watched Die Hard, for a start,
I
I would head over to your house, Paul Jaffa. I would head over to your house, give you the Clockwork Orange treatment. Right, okay, I don't mean the supreme ultra violence. I mean the force you to watch it with your eyes, toothpick style sort of thing. But
played open.
4 was horrible. I will
Mm.
take your word for it, dude. I will take your word
Three
for
was,
it.
I quite like three because that was Simon Says.
Like, I.
That was Simon Says in New
Oh,
York.
you're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 3 was fine. 4 was. I'll
Mm.
tell you this. I've still not got around. Yeah, and here's the irony. I've not got around to watch 5. I haven't watched A Good Day to Die Hard.
I don't think I have either. I, mm.
You can lose it. You, honestly, it does
It's
nothing.
it's like for me.
If 4 was
Fast.
if 4 was if 4 was the adventures if the 4 was the adventures of John McClane and his estranged daughter, A Good Day to Die Hard is the adventures of John McClane and his estranged son.
No, but it's like the thing that kind of thing is me. How many Fast Furious is there? There's now 10.
And D, but you don't
I
you don't understand, mate. It's about family.
mm,
Family, family,
and The
family,
Rock.
family, 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 family,
Uh,
family, 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 family.
oh,
Right.
oh,
So
and
what?
the guy
So
from Crank,
well, he's not even in
Rock.
that. Oh, The Rock wasn't in Crank. Jason Statham was in Crank. The Rock
No, but
was.
both of those are
Look,
in the Fast
I
Furious.
saw the GIF, and I don't know what Fast and Furious film it is, but the series is ridiculous when The Rock's character has a broken arm in a cast, and
He
then when
just
he
smashes
realizes
it
he
off.
needs to save the world, he doesn't even smash it. He just flexes. He flexes, and
Yeah.
it explodes. What? What? This is the series where alcohol-free night tonight.
Well, I was gonna say
With what I'm going to be talking about, I don't need the alcohol, honestly.
the other one is the what was it? Roman in a tank, or was it dropping from an
Yeah,
airplane
yeah, in the spin-off.
in
So
7?
actually,
That's how he
technically,
always.
there's no, technically there's 11. There's only one spin-off film, wasn't it?
Was it a spin-off film?
Hobbs and Shaw. No, so there's the Fast and Furious
Oh, the
1
Hobbs
to
Show
10,
race.
and Hobbs and Shaw is a spin-off, and Roman Reigns is
Oh,
in
okay.
Hobbs and Shaw,
Mm.
which was the film that that's the film that he shot while he was having his treatment for leukemia for the second time. And now he's come back and he's become the biggest heel in World Wrestling Entertainment, and is now heading towards a 1,000-day title reign.
I wasn't talking about the
Stories
rest. I didn't
never
know
end.
that. I didn't know there was a wrestling series at
Yeah,
all.
Roman Reigns. He was like a big Samoan guy in the tank.
No, I was thinking of the tank in 7 or 8 or whatever it is. They drop him out of a fucking
Oh
airplane.
god, they dropped
Yeah.
that. You know what they also
He's
did?
like, no.
They dropped a tank out of an airplane in the A-Team film.
Yeah,
Which one was Tokyo Drift? The bad one. I mean, the third one.
technically number 4, but it's
Technically,
actually 8.
no.
But it's 8 in the sequence.
Drift, yeah, Drift is third, but was 8th in time because they put themselves into a hole. They dug themselves into a hole. They didn't realize the franchise was going to go that far, so they'd set one in the future, and then
Yeah, and that's
realized that they didn't want to kill him off, and they needed him in other ones in the in thing.
that's why was it 8 or whatever it is?
Yeah,
He goes. They end up in Tokyo at the
yeah,
funeral.
yeah. And then it turns out he wasn't killed; he was just kidnapped all along. Look, unless Fast 10 ends with a car being driven by Dominic Toretto going into space, Fast 10 can only end in disappointment. All right,
Yep, pretty much.
just how that's going to be. So yeah, you noticed that we haven't played many video games this week, so that's probably why we're just
Been
talking
playing a bit
random.
of LOL.
Yeah, lol. We do that every week.
Yep. What did
Um,
you do tonight, Pinky? Try to take over the world and play LOL.
What, what are we going to do tonight, Bray? I tried to get an S rank on Lilia
Well, to
in
be
the
fair,
world.
I have got 3 level 6 tokens now.
Mm.
Well, one of them for each 3 separate champions. I've got a Swain, an Annie, and a Heimerdinger.
They all walk into a bar. No, sorry,
Yeah.
did I say a bar? That was
Annie.
actually Jax's lamppost.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. So you walk into the bar. Annie sets it on fire. Swain's sat there manically going, whatever. And Heimerdinger's
Well,
like,
no, he asks if they'd like a drink.
and Heimerdinger's sat there going, Horitz, blow shit up.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Singed and Heimerdinger would know each other. And Annie, I don't know. Hey, get involved as much as you want on
Swain.
this. Just how this works. It keeps conversation flowing.
No, Swain is the other champion I got.
Oh,
So
Swain,
Swain.
sorry. So,
So it's a tyrannical dictator, a
yeah.
little girl,
And
and
Annie.
no, little girl is Annie.
I know. Sorry, I was just
Who's the third one? Heimerdinger. So a
Heimerdinger,
little
a brainy Piltover scientist.
who's like 900 years old or something.
Yes, and has seen some shit.
He's
If you
broken. No,
basically go through his character arc in
Heimerdinger's Yoda.
Arcane, he basically has seen some shit. That is his role.
Well,
It's like no magic
it's like,
because I've seen things.
but it's like Heimerdinger's basically the same age as Yoda, pretty much.
Right, death battle. Get on with it. Heimerdinger versus Yoda. Let's go. But
How old was Yoda near the end?
how old was Yoda near the end of Star Wars?
Because I know he's like.
So 900 thereabouts. We had it.
He'll give Heimerdinger a run for his money for age.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one for you. If he's 900, how much? When does he retire?
Oh, he's already living in the Conservative government's pension scheme, so Yoda wouldn't have a pension left. I mean, I guess all he needs is herbal remedies every now and again, and he's good. He's golden. What's not golden is this background, by the way, because League of Legends MSI 2023 has been going on in London for the past nearly 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's wrapping up soon.
Okay.
But we're like going through upper brackets and lower brackets, and as expected, the Eastern teams are dominating. Is basically where that comes along, and
China and Korea.
China and Korea, yeah, and the Western teams, in terms of the major regions, the LEC and the LCS, are not doing so good. It got to a point that they're operating under a new format this year, so they're operating under a double elimination bracket. So the idea is, you lose one best of 5, you'll end up in a lower bracket. Lose another best of 5, you're gone. And through all the first rounds, let's see, Korea beat LEC team. They beat Mad Lions. T1 beat Mad Lions. Did I get that right? Gen.G beat G2. All the way around, don't worry about it, doesn't matter. Basically, Korea beat Europe. And then China beat America, which was it was like BLG, the Billy Gaming, versus Cloud9, and Golden Guardians were beaten by another one. So now basically the upper bracket was as it was Korea versus Korea and China versus China, and then in the bottom bracket was Europe versus Europe, NA versus NA. And now it's at a point that G2's next opponent, as of tomorrow, we're recording this on a Monday, there was no game today, will be taking on Billy Gaming in the last man standing, because G2 then destroyed Mad Lions and believe Golden Guardian C9, Cloud9. beat Golden Guardians. Let me just have a look at the LOL Esports. Can have a look at this, how this works. So the next games over the next few days. Yeah, G2 Esports versus Bilibili Gaming, Cloud9 versus Gen G, and then JDG versus T1. And then there'll be 3 days worth of action from there. So,
Okay.
yeah. But the thing that's come up on this, a lot of issues that come up, is what I would call the state of Europe in League of Legends esports at the moment. And this is probably where the rant is going to come along. Because there's a lot of pressure and a lot of there is a past the pandemic era, there has clearly been a skill gap that has widened. It is wider than the Atlantic Ocean at this point, though, between the skill level of Western League and Eastern League.
In China.
And it was shown.
Doesn't that
very
happen in most games, though?
Right, okay. Korea and China have been better, but personally, not this much better. There's
Okay.
clearly they are clearly better than other teams in the world, but over the past couple of years specifically, it's a gulf. It's a gulf to the point where people could argue that, let's be honest, at this point the LEC and the LCS are wildcard regions as well. We're our continent's teams are just turning up, are just being invited to Korea and China's party, and then given a slice of cake and told to piss off. We're having the rest of the cake.
It's like, can we participate, please? Okay.
Oh, you can come on. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, hi. There's a bench. If you just warm it for us, that'd be great. If you could just cool down the if you could just cool down if you could just cool the drinks so that we can have a nice fresh drink when we're done playing, yeah? It's like, no, don't worry yourselves. You don't have to come and play with us. Just be around.
By the sounds of it, at this stage, we just need East versus West.
Well, no, they do have that already. That is MSI and Worlds, to be honest. What they need to bring back is Rift Rivals, which was EU versus NA in just mini games and stuff like that. It was just a very specific tournament. But anyway, this gap was not shown more clearly than during Mad Lions versus Ryan. Bring up the bloody schedule again. That's not the name of the team. Was Mad Lions versus T1.
Okay.
Who beat them 3-0 in a best of 5.
Ouch.
G2 started fine for the first game. Then Korea turned on the, oh shit, they're actually playing, we better step up our game button in their brains, and destroyed Mad Lions, to the point that Mad Lions are now the holders of the second shortest game in competitive history. They were defeated by T1 in the final game of that series in 16 minutes and 47 seconds.
Ouch.
Now,
that's an ARAM kind of time.
Yeah, it's an ARAM time. And now take into account that they put a feature in Summoner's Rift that towers are hard, that the front or the first tier towers are made harder to destroy for the first 14 minutes of a game.
Yep. They are fucking tough.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, is that
because of that bullshit shield thing that you got.
The plating business. Yeah, each plate that is taken off a tower for the first 14 minutes of the game, each plate that's taken off a tower makes that tower harder to destroy because it gains resistances equal to the amount of plates that have been destroyed, or to the point where it's really, really hard to take it on. Now, it's not to say that a tower can't be destroyed before 14 minutes. It's been done many a time. But
I've done it
about
8.
To basically at this point to basically get to destroy an inhibitor within 13 minutes is just
Something really bad happened.
madness. Co-op versus AI games don't go that quick.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to this. This is the slow unraveling point of my issues that I've got that I need to get off my chest today. Start with Mad Lions and end
Okay.
with Excel Esports. And there's a reason behind that, and I'll get to it. So, Mad Lions got destroyed. Now, take into account that on the week that Mad Lions got destroyed, the LEC, the League of Legends European, the League of Legends European and Middle East and Africa Championship, because it used to be just Europe, now it's Europe, Middle East and Africa, also known as the EMEA region.
Okay.
Yeah, E for European, ME Middle East, A Africa. Yeah. So the championship, the LEC had finished, and at the end of each split, they do what they call the All Pro. So they get all the teams and all the players to vote for who they think was the best player in each role, and then say it's basically like picking. It's like football and getting all the teams and all the players to pick the top 11.
Mm.
You know, so here's your best goalkeeper, here are your best defenders, so on and so forth. Now the LEC had voted, and a lot of this, and I can agree with it, and it's just a slight problem that comes up though. A lot of it is what's called recency bias. So Mad Lions had a really awful regular season. They finished 8th.
Okay.
They proceeded to win the LEC split, and so therefore, because people saw this team, come from the shit bottom to outright winning the tournament for that season. Recency bias can come into play, and you just go, yeah, this team has been great the whole time. I personally wouldn't have thought it. The fact that there were no players from BDS who performed pretty much perfectly throughout the entire split, the entire regular season, and only fell short at the end, should have had at least a couple of players filling the roles in regards to that. But they didn't. It led to an All-Pro where 4 out of the 5 members of this All-Star team were from Mad Lions, which is a bit of an odd. And like I say, though, it's a player vote. It's a team vote. There's no public voting in regards to this. This is just, compared to your peers, who do you think the best players are? And it just came up like this again. And it's just a bit odd. And therefore, it puts a massive pressure on a massive bit of pressure on the team, especially when one of the players on that All-Pro team is the subject of horrendous levels of constant targeted abuse. So, best mid laner for the All-Pro team was Mad Lions' Niski. Plays well, sometimes doesn't play well, but you have to take into account that they are a pro player, and therefore their bad day is still about 100 times better than any of our good days. So, and if anyone's got anything to say about that, remember the whole thing on this. You can slag off pro players as much as you want, and you can constantly try and say, oh, I'm better than them, give me the chance, I could do it. It's incorrect for the one simple reason. They're there, you're not. Yeah? So, don't give it that. But yeah, so when Mad Lions crashed out, when they lost to T1, there was a picture by a Spanish shoutcaster, don't know the name, not relevant in this particular case, basically comparing the two of them. Two people, El Yoya, the Spanish jungle player for Mad Lions, upset that you lost you lost this series. And then a picture of Niski laughing. Because apparently you're not allowed to laugh when you lose a game, even if you lose a game in 16 minutes 47 seconds.
That's just...
Even you're not allowed to laugh because it shows you're disrespecting everyone. You're disrespecting the country that you're playing for. Shut the fuck up.
60 minute
that's
thing is,
there we go.
but yeah, 60-minute loss is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Not
it is.
pretty
It
much unheard
is.
of.
It is a bit of a loss. You know, it's a bit shit, but it's one 16-minute problem for a season that they've managed to overcome everything against arguably one of the best teams in the world.
Mm.
Have a bit of expectation management. It's not that difficult. Yeah, it basically all come down to a massive argument of disrespecting this guy because he's an embarrassment to Spanish League of Legends, which is all great. But he was a European team playing in a worldwide tournament. That means nothing. But you know that'd all come up, and then comes up the problem. When you at the LEC do their All-Star and their All-Pro votes, it's public information. Or I should say, once everyone has casted their vote, it's public information. And so you could see every one of the 9 teams and the 9 sets of players who could win, you know, who could vote. Yeah, I said 9, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 10 teams in League of Legends, or in the LEC. There's 10 teams. There was one team who decided, well, as it says on the ballot, it says did not participate. That can mean various things. It was Excel. It was Excel. And this hurts me as a fan of the team.
Your team didn't vote.
Because when you are currently, because of news that has come out over the past couple of splits, when you are currently the most hated team in the LEC, proceeding not to vote on something doesn't do your PR any justice. It doesn't help. In fact, I've got to say this, I'm a fan of the team. If I'm gonna sit there and rant about them for a second, just 1 second. Just for now. Just for now. Okay? You're a fine team. But I feel a bit of a hypocrite if I just sit there and criticise while wearing your merch. So just place you there for a second. Seriously, what the fuck has happened? That's the thing that I just say. Like, what has happened to XL between last year and making playoffs twice and fulfilling this sort of underdog story narrative to having just problems everywhere. Management problems, from what it looks like. This, at the core part of it, it's management problems that are the issue here. There's people arguing about players not gelling together and that, you know, they're all bad and, you know, it should have been expected and blah blah blah. And then part of the issue that's come out is that there's a League of Legends investigative journalist by the name of Duncan Thorin Shields, who did an expose on XL a month ago, not long after their elimination from the spring split, about basically contract shenanigans. Let's just call it that. Contract shenanigans, contract bullshit, potential breaches of German employment law, and stuff like that. And through that thing has been told that basically he feels that XL Esports shouldn't even be in the LEC. The organisation shouldn't be there. And XL have stayed silent. And I can understand why, to a point. You don't want to say something or defend your actions and there be, you know, that then turn out you defend, you know, say something that then taken in evidence and context becomes problematic to your defense. On the other side, you don't want to just outright go, yeah, we did break no laws though, we did, what of it? Because you're not helping the PR case at that point. Relations will just go down even further. But to say nothing and just act like it's not going on, personally, to me, is the worst thing you can do. And I've like just watched going on. I was like thinking, oh no, it's all right. The team that I watched a BBC documentary about and became a fan of the team because of the fact that they were able to be honest, even when it would hurt them. It was brutal, but it was honest. To just sit there and not say anything is crap. To be honest, it hurts. It hurts. They have a documentary, and it's about their thing. And there's I got a comic book. I got a comic book. This is the thing. This is the way I'm a fan. The comic book's called Fight for First. The whole idea was, not resting on your laurels and taking the punches and trying to be better. The tagline of the bloody team is the power of better. As a fan here, I'm not seeing it, and it hurts. I understand now. I can understand why people do this. Why people do this with their football teams. To be honest, it's a thing. And so this sort of XL have been pilloried by the LEC production twice for being invited to all team meetings and not turning up. And then we get this did not participate thing. And granted, there are 3 reasons why this could have happened. 2 are viable. 1, and this for the purpose of props, is a tinfoil hat conspiracy. Kitchen roll up. Tinfoil. The joke's anyway.
I know.
End up saying the joke, doesn't it? 1 tinfoil hat conspiracy, and I'll go through the 3 things on here. The first one is they were given the ballot by the LEC and they said, we're not doing it. Now, you're the only team that hasn't. And as far as PR goes, that's at that point, you've basically just turned around and said, don't care. And given the fact that they are the most pilloried team, some of it for good reasons, some of it for not, there's red flags regarding former players and staff. Basically, given the WWE treatment, I should explain that, Dee, just for a second, just so you're aware. The WWE treatment is what's called when a wrestler is sacked or released from their contract by WWE. They generally get a message that says, such and such a wrestler has been released from World Wrestling Entertainment. We wish them well in their future endeavours. That statement is key. That last line. If WWE had a problem with the wrestler they've released, they would say, WWE has come to terms and released this wrestler. Full stop. And at that point, you can tell immediately whether it was a good termination of contract or a bad one, purely by whether it added that extra sentence, whether it added, we wish them well in their future endeavours. In esports, and with what XL used to do until recently, when a player was released because they traded them for someone else, they did a farewell video. When a coach was released, they did a farewell video. Recently, and this was as recent as at the end of summer last year, 2 players, ex-jungler Marcoon, ex-top laner Finn, did not get their farewell video. Actually, I think a Finn one may have happened at some point, but something happened. I'm sure there was a farewell at some point. But they were just dropped. No farewell video, no thanks for your stuff. And red flags come up when players and staff are released from a company and they all say the same thing about what was happening behind the scenes, and you get to the point that in the middle of an LEC season, the 2 former XL players are, I don't want to say reveling in the woes, because they're being as professional as they can be without being jerks. They're not outright turning around and going, I wish you went under, blah, blah, blah. But the idea of subtweeting making a statement about someone and then saying, making a tweet about someone without directly mentioning the person in question.
Hmm.
When you're making things like, you know, pictures before disaster, and it's a picture of Tim Reichert, the owner of XL, just there in the background, and when they're feeling justified for not being part of the team anymore and vindicated, I can absolutely understand. But at that point, it's your job as an org to fight that and go, look, yeah, no, I'm all, we're sorry, we understood. However, we had this plan in place and blah blah blah. Could we have done it better? Yes. Could we have given them notice? Absolutely. But our plan, for good or ill, was what we were looking to do. That's all you need to do. I mean, I'm not even in the fucking thing. I'm a 35-year-old man just sat there watching a gameplay by a majority 13-year-olds. Let's be honest. What do I fucking know? But anyway, yeah. So there's that. The second reason is they forgot. They were given it. They attempted to send it. It didn't happen. They forgot. That's bad management. But it's not. It's not what I would call intentional. It's not. There's a word that I'm trying to say. It wasn't part of the plan. It wasn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't their intent to be absolutely dickish with the thing.
Yeah.
They negligible. It was negligible.
Yeah.
That's where I'm sort of getting. But it was not intentional. It wasn't fake.
They did it on purpose. It just happened.
They didn't do it on purpose. It just happened, and
Circumstances and blah 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 blah.
yeah. That again though needs to be better, because prior to that wasn't what it felt like to me. So anyway, the third thing, the tinfoil conspiracy, is that XL weren't asked. I don't think that's true though, but just sort of imagine the scenario. You are the LEC at this point. You've heard this stuff. You have clearly got this information about an organization that are being alleged of fucking around with people's contracts and careers. What better way to try and knowing though that it's scummy, or allegedly it's scummy, but it's not illegal. And the only way you can get rid of a team in the franchise era of esports, where you've got to remember that the team has purchased their slot, the only way you can get rid of them is a competitive ruling. And that has to be done inside the game. So what do? You make a team not welcome without outright saying you need to leave. Do you get where I'm getting at here? That's what I'm saying. The theory itself is so batshit stupid and insane that it cannot possibly be it. But it's on the table. We don't want you here. Sell your slot. We can't tell you to sell your slot. We can't force you to do it, but we don't want you.
We're going to make your life miserable as possible.
Yeah, we're going to make the org as miserable as possible. You're not going to be attending these meetings. Oh, we might send them 5 days after the meeting's already happened and then say, why did you not turn up? It's a weird conspiracy, and that's why I don't think it would happen, because, like I said, that would be so unprofessional, and that would be so not esports. Well, it would be.
Oh, there's a thing that happened in Negretzko, if you've ever watched it.
The anime about the red panda?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, please tell me how this is going to come along.
Well, what happened to Tone in the last season was he wasn't allowed to be fired, but they put him in a new position on his own with nothing to do.
Right, yeah, so they forced him into a scenario that he couldn't.
He got promoted to a division that didn't exist on his own in a room all day.
For the sake of him just going, right, fuck this, I'm off.
Because he's not allowed to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
They forced him into his own. So they give him a promotion, thinly disguised of, we're gonna give you no work to do. So you come into work to do nothing.
Hmm.
You're gonna sit in a room all day and do fuck all and see how long you last.
Yeah.
We can't fire you, but you can quit if you want. You can
Hmm.
do not. It basically it forced them out of the company
Yeah. But
because they basically jerked him around.
yeah. But like I say, basically at that point, this leaves sort of XL Esports, and like I say, I'm putting it back on now because I'm trying to go back to the fact that I am a fan and I want this to, I want to be able to support a team. But my God, come on, please. I know I'm not gonna get a response if I tagged this video to the CEO of XL. He's not gonna respond. He's not gonna respond to me. I'm a grain of
No.
sand. I'm not in the esports journalism. I'm not in I'm not this massive thing. I'm a fan of one particular org who who swayed me into their support, and I'm questioning and critiquing and criticizing decisions that have been made. He doesn't answer to me. I'm just I'm just a little fan. I mean, just the problem is they're in a situation where they are looked at as being everything. There is a view on people that they are everything wrong with League of Legends esports, or the LEC in particular. I take umbrage with that, to be honest. This is the same year that XL have been hit with these allegations, the same year in the fact that one of the former players of Koi, formerly Rogue, Odawamne, had to tell a story about how a member of management in Koi had basically told everyone around him that don't bother trying to get him for a team, he's retired. That was news to him.
Mm.
Forced retirement. It's like, yeah, Odawamne's retiring. There's no point in trying to sign him. Excuse me, who said anything about me retiring? What? No, forget what they're saying. I'm active. And then, of course, there's G2, and there's no way you can say it. G2 have done great for esports. They are the successful team. They are what they are. That doesn't give them carte blanche to bypass every single rule whatsoever. And they had the greatest PR offensive, the greatest PR charm offensive regarding the fact that their former CEO of G2 was a potato apologist and got
What?
suspended. There's a absolute mental out there called Andrew Tate. People just call him Andrew Potato. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We just call him the Potato. There we go. Um, known for sending TikToks about living the high life and success and blah blah blah, and it just happens to coincidentally go with the fact that he's a misogynist. um, but yeah, he
Mm.
was suspended for his views. And G2, the organisation, were only going to suspend him for 8 weeks, unpaid, and then he was going to carry on being the CEO of the company. The only reason they got rid of him was because, and they did get rid of him, but they got rid of him because G2 Esports lost the franchising rights or the franchising option for a Valorant esports team in North America. Valorant, the upcoming, the
Mm.
growing Riot first-person shooter esport. They lost money. Bottom line, he was sacked because of a bottom line. So don't let anyone think you go on the idea of, oh, but no. You see, XL do all this. None of the other teams in the LEC have done anything bad. Yes, they have. Know this. I will criticize the team that I am a fan of, but I will absolutely do the same for everyone else that makes shit like that. Because that
Um,
also becomes a problem with the esport scene as its own, and the PR charm offensive of
Pretty much
inviting.
everyone's
If it,
basically proved.
hold on, I was
Pretty much.
I was in
All right.
flow. Sorry, but the whole idea of having a charm offensive of 2 weeks before the thing, do your roster announcement by inviting as many of the LEC talent as possible, caster talent, to do a music video, and to then have a sponsor or to get a sponsorship with one of the main sponsors of the league itself. I've been told it isn't conflict of interest, but still, you know, it just whitewashing a dirty situation out of the way, and then just turning around and going, yeah, we can do this because we're successful. We've had success. You will get called out for absolutely everything you're wrong because you're not even winning from it. So yeah, with that, like I say, I could tag people in. I'm not going to, and I should also say this is nothing against the community of the XL Esports. They are fucking awesome. I'm happy to be in the Discord server and spouting, having me spouting nonsense and just having to be able to chat with people. And the current community and socials manager, Laura, she's great, awesome, made me feel welcome in there. It's just fun, and it's going to be a shame, that she's that it's her last week as of this point. So whoever takes up the community thing, and there better be a community manager because community is key. It's a shame that's there, but that's my TED talk.
I was gonna say.
That's Ryan rants for Jesus Christ, nearly 30 minutes.
But yeah, it's basically rose-tinted glasses.
No, rose-tinted glasses is nostalgia. That's just when something wasn't as good as you thought it was. This wouldn't.
Ah,
This isn't. No, that's something different. That's I don't know what the actual term would be. Just basically ignoring the bad because the good you feel outweighs it.
denial. Well, it's
No,
objectivity denial. Oh, pretty much.
it's sort of a it's yeah it's not hypocrisy though. That's the thing. The people on there, they're genuine fans of the orgs that I've mentioned, but they also probably understand that harmful decisions make it sort of tough to do it, but to defend. But they're going to. I'm definitely not going to go on a crusade of saying to people, you need to stop your support for these teams and want everything to go bad. But you also need to be vocal. You do need to let people know when things are going wrong. Don't be nitpicky. But if there's something serious that's happened, they're not gonna, players are not gonna change if they don't know what's going on or if you don't tell them what's going on. It's just as it is. So that's that. Right, it's time to do very quick news because I've spent the time that we're supposed to be talking about the news
Ranting.
on my soapbox, I believe the term would be. So let's go on it. Big news in the form of Activision Blizzard.
What have they done this time?
The merger has been approved by European regulators.
Okay.
So that is a giant hurdle that's been cleared, according to this Verge article. Let's just go. Oh, hooray! Martin's shared games are now available for me to play. Oh, the thing that I'd be currently playing on his library at the moment is Tales of Symphonia, and I'm not doing it now.
I've got Tales of Symphonia on my library somewhere.
Say that. No, I can't, because for a start, Martin's just loaded up another game in his library, so it's just how that is. But yeah, so according to The Verge and many other things, I saw it on Sky News earlier this afternoon, the EU have agreed to the same issues that sort of agreed the same concerns that the CMA, the UK's competition authority, have had in regards to cloud gaming, but they have agreed with Microsoft's proposals in regards to the market share and have therefore accepted the merger to go ahead from them. So this now leads into a weird situation that if Microsoft then if they get the US to agree and sort of an Asian market to agree, then the only people who have disagreed to the merger is the UK, and therefore that would mean Microsoft would have to request approval to do business in the UK. The same UK who have said they didn't want this merger to go ahead in the first place. So I guess it could throw some questions up in the air about whether Activision Blizzard could operate their servers for UK players. Oh, which is a bit tough considering the second piece of news. Diablo
Okay.
4.
Okay. The new
The new game.
Activision Blizzard game.
And an absolute mental human being of a man. A man of a human being. A guy called oh god, pronounce this right, Ryan.
Kojima.
Woody Joe? Woodio.
I was gonna say I don't know.
Woodio. Sorry, go on, Dee. I'm
I was
obviously.
gonna say you said the mental case, and I went Hideki Kojima.
No. But Diablo 4 has world bosses.
Okay.
So Diablo 4 has sort of changed a little bit from 3 in the idea that you don't just start with a party of people. You can enter dungeons as a party, but the main sort of world of Sanctuary the part of Sanctuary that you're in through Diablo 4 is open world. So in any given area, you can share that area with like up to 12 people. A bit like Destiny, in a sense. Sort of like this. It's not like MMO servers, but sort of big.
It's not like WoW where there's like 10 billion people in Dalaran.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like
So up to 12.
There's so many people in Dalaran, it's gets to the point where you just log out.
Yeah. So yeah, you can have up to 12 people in an area, and in particular in world boss areas, you can have up to 12 people, and then you take on a giant monster, and you have to deal with doing it within a certain amount of time. And if you die, then you gotta lose time and stuff like that. Or you can be Woodio, who not only beat a Shava, which is the world boss currently on display, or that was on display this weekend for Diablo 4's Server Slam, a stress test open beta before the release of the game. Not only did you have to beat the level 25 world boss at level 20, because that was the maximum level. The maximum level of the other betas were 25, not this one. It was 20. Not only did he do that, he did it alone. And not only did he do that, he did it on a hardcore character. Hardcore characters are die once and that's it.
Yeah,
and not only did he do that, he did it on the highest difficulty that you can currently do it on. The man is a mental case. The man is an absolute mental case. I mean, congratulations to you. Well done, man. Appreciate it, but Jesus. Hot Fuzz style, you are making the rest of us look bad.
He did hardcore
max
level.
Veteran, which is World Tier 2, because rather than difficulties of Diablo being like easy to torment, there's a set of world tiers that, as you play through, it plays a bit like the Division. So like, you have access to the second difficulty from the beginning, but you have to beat the game's test. They call it a Keystone Dungeon. You have to beat a Keystone Dungeon to be given the right to do the next difficulty level, and so on and so forth.
The wall, or whatever it is.
The what?
It's like the wall. It's just like, yeah, you need to pass the wall. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I understand some of that. But yeah, no, you see, for me, it was just like it was basically the Division to me. You had to complete the game, and then by completing the game, you would gained access to the next difficulty level. But then if you wanted to get access to the next difficulty level, you had to complete a certain set of instances on a higher difficulty level, and so on and so forth. You had to basically, they were gate kept. It was just gated content, but prove that you could beat it, and you got access to the next difficulty. But congratulations, Woodio, and I am sorry if I butchered your name, and you see this on the internet somewhere. But well done, sir. You crazy, crazy bastard.
Yep. Soloing a word boss.
Yeah. And last bit of news. You know, there's an MMO based on Lord of the Rings. I assume you should, because I'm sure we played it at some point.
I think it's Lotro Online or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. Lotro. Amazon have decided for some reason they want to compete with the franchise that they've bought.
What?
Amazon Game Studios are looking to make a new MMO based on Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so Lotra.
But sort of between the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Okay.
Steph sounds like that sounds right. That sounds right of Amazon to just compete with themselves. I mean, granted, I believe Standing Stone Games Lord of the Rings Online isn't owned by Embracer Group and Amazon, but I mean, really, that game's been going on for years, has got a fan base, and is pretty much developed. Why are you competing with it? Why? Just has anyone got any reason? Could anyone think why?
It's like the game that tried to break. It's like all the games that tried to take on Warcraft.
Yeah,
Just for we can take on Warcraft. Good
yeah,
luck with that.
but
Good luck with that.
just madness, just madness. Dear.
Can we
Right,
do it
anyway.
better?
So, with that, we've cleared the news. I've got a lot of stuff off my chest. Dee listened. Dee sighed. We did everything that the Twitter said we were going to do. So
I
that's
think
just
okay now.
I
Ryan
can
good.
breathe now.
Ryan good.
I can breathe now. Waffles. Right. Anyway, we best wrap this. We best wrap this podcast up. If you've come in and watched and listened, sorry. I mean, we appreciate it. And if you liked what you heard and you want to, get in contact with more, give us a follow.
You want more? You want more RRs?
And oohs.
And
Yep. Then give us a follow, a like, a subscribe. Do all that business. Follow us on stuff. Steph wants what we can't have. Please don't. I've got people at my work asking for verbatim titty streams. I've told
Chicken the
them no.
Colonel, chicken and tits.
I've told them no. What they can get and what they can promote if they really want is Beat the Wheel 12 Hours 5 Idiots on Sunday the 28th of May. That is Jesus, that's under 2 weeks away.
Yep.
Oh, it's getting closer. It's getting closer, it's getting closer, it hurts. It hurts. But, there's all that. If you want to sort of watch an audio version of this podcast, or listen to an audio version of this podcast, we're available where all our podcasts are served. And then,
everywhere.
Yeah. Current schedule for the next week or so. Thursday, Teamfight Thursdays. Back on the Convergence, it's Teamfight Tactics again. We'll do a second training session of the wheel. So we'll go for that. Friday play session. Don't know with who. Don't know with what. Don't know when. We finished. we finished Harvester last week. There was not enough alcohol in the world.
Oof.
There was not.
Not bad, eh?
It was certainly an experience, and I told Andrea as much. Saturday and Sunday, Tales of Symphonia plays role playing Nottingham games. Getting close to the end of the game now because I'm just getting to that point. I've just got the big side quests, and then like the point of no return to go. I've probably got about 3 or 4 sessions left. So
today we're doing the podcast instead of
the podcast was I did the Not Yet Titled Monday stream unfortunately without you. I did it last night. It turns out if there's nothing going on and anything happens soon, maybe we'll do another session at some point. If it just turns out, for example, there's only me and you on Friday for play session, we'll just do an extended speed brawl session there. Because at that point, the last episode of Speed Brawl will be Monday. You like speed sleep? Oh, you slept last night instead of the podcast, sir. Honestly, just there speaking with Steph normally, and then I just look at my computer, I do something for a second, and then suddenly I just hear. It's like,
It's like a walrus going off.
yeah, it's like a Klingon had sneezed. Um, so that
I still
happened.
find it. I still find it hilarious that the Tribbles are the Klingons' greatest foe.
Yeah, there's no honor. Um, so yeah, Sunday will be podcast there as well. Monday will be the last episode of Speed Brawl. It'll basically be Guinea League or bust, and then that's that. Because on the Tuesday next week will be the not yet titled launch day stream, where I will be playing Double Stallion Games' and Riot Forge's Convergence: A League of Legends story, or at least I'll be making a start on it. So that'll happen from there. So follow us so you can keep an eye out on when we're doing stuff. And then from me and Dee,
And
and from the contributions of Jaffa and Steph, have a good night, and we will catch you later. Toodaloo.
right. Good.